The second episode opens as the deity of the deceased recounts his life in the prior realm. He was born under the ominous sign of the evil eye, foretelling a life of unrest. His parents bartered him off to the court magicians, where he became a warrior of the dark arts and served as a necromancer in battles until the empire he served fell. Despite his desires for a tranquil existence, the sorcery twisted and contorted his body into a skeletal form, leading him to withdraw into seclusion in a cave. There he stumbled upon destitute children and provided them with sustenance in secrecy for years until they eventually discovered him. They welcomed him into their lives, and together they enjoyed a peaceful existence until the church accused him of enslaving their souls and wiped out his beloved family. The devastation he endured kindled within him an unyielding desire for vengeance, leading him to transform the deserted coal mine into a labyrinth of corpses. Even in his revengeful state, he longed for peace and spent centuries studying the art of reincarnation, patiently awaiting his end. However, he could not depart from the world in a natural manner and awaited his demise at the hands of another. That savior came in the form of Shagrua, another cursed individual bearing the evil eye. In defeating him, Shagrua unknowingly activated the reincarnation spell, launching him into a new life, ignorant of his previous existence. God's body lay lifeless, but even in death, he couldn't comprehend Misaki's untimely demise after a fatal blow to her gut. Unaware of the absence of magic and healing potions in the modern world, he gently places her down, slightly disappointed that he didn't get the chance to question her about his new surroundings. However, he must prioritize his safety as he cannot prove that he acted in self-defense. If caught, it would shatter his hopes of a peaceful life, and he would scream in frustration. Meanwhile, Takumi watches through his drone, bewildered by what he sees. Clarissa calls for an update, but Takumi explains that the situation is more complex than expected and sends a recording of God using magic. Misaki, lost in a dreamlike state, relives her childhood memories until the traumatic death of her parents shattered her psyche. After venturing into the assassination business, she came across her parents' former enemy, whom she repaid in kind. She received orders to eliminate only the scum of society, and under Clarissa's guidance, she gained a reputation for her brutal and vicious demeanor. However, when presented with a contract to kill an innocent man named Polka, she was taken aback and sought Clarissa's advice. Despite feeling like she had accomplished her life's purpose, she wondered how twisted she truly was. She executed the hit flawlessly and retreated to a rooftop, where she contemplated her ability to take the lives of good people just as easily as bad ones. As she was about to pass judgment on herself, her phone rang, causing her to pause. Takumi, who had witnessed her intentions, informed her that her target was still alive. After her initial failure, the corpse god attempted to revive her with magic, but Clarissa and her soldiers interrupted the process. As she prepares to introduce herself, she inquires about the well-being of her beloved assassin. He requests a moment to repair her wounds, and as he does so, a magical force flows into her body, healing her instantly. The onlookers are astounded, and Clarissa even suspects that the spectacle was staged. The corpse god predicts that she will soon awaken and probes the group's identity. Meanwhile, the army of armed people readies for battle. Clarissa discloses that they are friends of Misaki and have come to complete her mission and embark on an adventure. She asked about Misaki's whereabouts, but the answer is ambiguous due to the nuances of the situation. The healer simplifies matters by stating that her brain and soul remain intact and he has mended her physical body. All that's required now is a sorcerer to cast resurrection magic upon her awakening. The group is puzzled when he mentions magic spells, as they only recognize them from video games. The healer realizes he is the first true magic user they have ever encountered and is astonished that magic exists in their world. Clarissa informs him that self-proclaimed magicians are a dime a dozen across the globe, but it's all just hot air. The corpse god queries them in his mother tongue, but they fail to comprehend and admit their ignorance. The corpse god, upon hearing this, relinquishes all magical abilities and attempts to persuade them that it was a collective delusion. Clarissa calls him out on his bluff, stating that she can't be easily fooled. The corpse god reactivates his powers and tries to intimidate them into accepting his version of events. Everyone gears up for a confrontation, only to be put in their place when the corpse god effortlessly pins one of the men down, demonstrating their frailty and inferiority. Clarissa requests a moment to ponder her next move, a gesture that surprises Takumi. During this interval, the corpse god scrutinizes their firearms and compares them to the weapons employed by the Imperial Dazzling Corps in his realm, finding them rather unsettling. He assesses their numbers, unsure if he possesses enough mana to battle or flee. The tension is broken by a blaring siren that captures Clarissa's attention. She remarks on their increasing frequency. Takumi has already investigated the source of the commotion and relays information about a fire in a Shikuzo building. Clarissa views the scene on her tablet and expresses concern for the children. However, they acknowledge that the fire department must handle the situation. Suddenly, an unusual creature with an eyeball and legs appears on Clarissa's shoulder, startling them both. She readies her blade, but her boss intervenes and questions the entity's purpose. The creature is interested in the tablet's contents, and Clarissa shows the display, revealing the fire. She explains that an unlicensed nursery in the building cares for Yakuza orphans and children of nightlife workers. The corpse god is reminded of past losses and urgently requests to be taken to the location. As Clarissa observes that unfamiliarity with directions implies strangers, she becomes perplexed as to why it matters to the corpse god. However, he confesses to having suffered from excruciating burns in the past and does not want the little one to face the same fate. Having heard his rationale, Clarissa commands Takumi to guide him despite his reluctance, as it could be a chance to flee. To monitor him, Clarissa employs an eye in the sky. Takumi reaches the rooftop and executes a Spider-Man-like jump, swinging through the building using his bony hands. They reach the site, where a gathering crowd documents the firefighters' attempts to douse the blaze. Using his evil eye, the corpse god quickly locates the children and sneaks inside the building unnoticed by most except for a lady who witnesses something flying inside. Upon landing, the corpse god consults with the spirits to ascertain the children's parents. As the people responded, the corpse god conjured up lifeless skeletons for them to possess in order to aid in rescuing their missing children. After picking up the skeletons, the children were comforted to see their parents in human form. The sight of the skeletons from the window caused onlookers to stare in amazement, while the corpse god summoned a cloaked hand to take the children from their parents. Once the job was done, the parents dissolved into flames as the children were lowered to safety and paramedics rushed to attend to them. The spectacle was captured by many onlookers who took pictures and shared them on social media. Takumi found the corpse god confusing, as he had mercilessly ended Misaki but was now rescuing children. He realized that the corpse god was different from them, a monster to be avoided. Clarissa agreed but urged Takumi to hurry back to the abandoned building, as it seemed Misaki was about to awaken. As her eyes begin to open, they arrive just in time. She's a bit disoriented, but the corpse god is relieved that she's awake. She's surprised to find that the fatal wound she had sustained earlier has miraculously healed, and the corpse god explains that she has been reborn through magic. Seeing her friend Clarissa, she's shocked and overjoyed at the same time, receiving a warm embrace. However, her joy is short-lived, as her colleagues notice that she's cold and lacks a pulse, which leads to her being mistakenly labeled as a zombie. The corpse god is deep in thought, pondering what it would take for this world to find peace after witnessing what just happened. Clarissa suggests that money is the key to achieving peace, which he agrees is a transcendent fact. He decides to use his magic to earn money, as he longs for power and a sense of belonging. Clarissa, having realized that Polka is no longer inside her friend's body, decides to help the corpse god adjust to life in the modern world. To aid him, she assigns Misaki and Takumi as his guides in the city, and this brings the second episode to an end. Make sure to subscribe for more videos like this.